Hello all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader. Me and my Jax is back. Yes, so we're here to wrap up the month of April, which is crazy. How is it May already? I don't the months are flying by. Anyway, so I'm here to wrap up the month of April. Now, well actually, first and foremost, let's hydrate and let's get talking. Have you hydrated today? If you haven't, please do so. We must stay well and hydrated. Okay, so on the one hand, I feel like I bit off a bit more than I could chew when it came to my reading plans for April, but I somehow managed to read 6 books, which is crazy. Okay, so the first book I read was A Boy Like Me by Simon James Green. And naturally, I loved it. Naturally, I gave it 5 stars. I did an entire review of this book on my channel. I will leave it linked for you down below if you haven't watched it already, but I love and adore this book so much. Set in 1994 when Section 28 was happening, and it's basically a story about a boy who finds a book and is given a book by the librarian in his library, and he just in his library in school, and discovers that it's a love story between 2 boys, and then it goes from there. And that's all I'm gonna say, but go watch my review if you want like more in-depth about it. But this was so beautiful and I loved it. 5 stars. Go watch my review, it's linked below. The next one that I read, another 5 star, Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. I first of all, I'm so happy that I finally got to it, and look at all these tabs. Look at all these tabs. That's this crazy. The annotations, people. I can't. Like, I loved and adored this so much. I'm so happy I finally completed this trilogy. I'm so excited for Throne of the Fallen. You've no idea, because she's writing another series about one of the other demon princes in this world. We're following Envy for the next one, and I'm so ready. So yeah, I love this. 5 stars. Amazing, wonderful, gorgeous, like, favorite trilogy of all time. Now, well, not of all time, one of my favorites. The next book that I read was actually This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi. This was the Introverted Reader book club pick for the month of April. I did a review for it as well. I'll leave it linked as well down below, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself reading this. I got the audiobook for it, and yeah, I really loved it. You know, high fantasy, djinn, sort of like there's djinn, there's a prince, there's magic, there's, you know, political intrigue, there's magic. You know, go watch my review if you want more in-depth thoughts, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I have the sequel ready to go. Well, not really ready to go. I'm not reading it right away, which I probably should, but whatever, we'll see. But yeah, if you want my full thoughts, feelings, go watch my review. But I had a really good time. I gave it 4 stars. It was a fun time. And after all of that, I'm sad to report we had a DNF this month, lads, and Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett. I gave this book a chance. I tried, people. I tried. Do I still have my bookmark? Yes, I do. I got 149 pages into this. And I was so underwhelmed, bored, couldn't make head or tail of what was happening. I couldn't connect to it. I couldn't connect to the plot. The characters felt really flat, and just, I couldn't understand what was happening. I was like, what is even going on? So we're gonna take out the bookmark, and it's gonna go in the on haul pile. Unfortunately, I feel really bad about it, but I'm done. I'm done. Don't try and tell me to give it a chance. I'm done. taking out my book depository bookmark, RIP book depository. The bookmarks are all I have left of you. I'll just leave that there. Anyway, sad to say, I didn't give Master of One a rating. I couldn't be bothered. And the next one that I read was actually a graphic novel, and that was Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, Volume 1. This is the, obviously, the graphic novel version of it, and one of the I got this in Waterstones. I found it in Waterstones because I was just like, am I gonna have to order this online? But no, I went into Waterstones and I found it, and look at it, look how gorgeous it is. Like, any version of this story that I can consume, I will. Like, you guys know you know already, and naturally I give it 5 stars because it's wonderful, even though not much happened in this volume. We got up to a certain point, and obviously we have to wait for the next one to come out. I don't know when the next one's gonna come out, but naturally I loved it, gave it 5 stars. It's amazing. And then I read Percy Jackson and the Battle of the Labyrinth by Rick Riordan. I got the audiobook for this as well, and I don't know why I haven't been doing the audiobooks for Percy, you know, from the beginning. But book 4, I got the audiobook for it and loved it. I think this might be my favorite in this series. Because I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was so much fun. I loved it. The narrator for the audiobook was so good. Like, we get introduced to Nico in this one, and I'm so excited for Son of the Star, you have no idea. Like, oh, it's gonna be so good. But the fact that we're 4 books into the Olympian along now, and that we're going to be reading book 5 in May, which can't even have the audiobook ready for book 5, and I'm so ready, like, to continue on with this series. Like, I love this series so much. It's so much fun. If you have ever read Percy Jackson, please do, and get the audiobooks for Percy because the narrator is so good. Anyway, and the very last book that I read was Dark Rise by C.S. Pacat. I was not sure whether or not I was gonna have this read by the end of April, but I ended up finishing it. And I was thoroughly surprised by this book. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's basically about our main character, Will, and he's been on the run for a really long time because these men came and killed his mother, and her last words to him were that he should run and keep running, basically, because the same men that killed her want him dead. So yeah, he's been in hiding, and then something happens and he gets I'm being very vague, but I don't want to give anything away, and then he runs into this group of people called stewards, and the stewards take him in, and basically it's kind of like a good guys versus bad guys situation. The stewards are the ones that, like, protect humanity, and they're like, there's this dark king that is gathering followers. He's been reincarnated after so long, and he's gonna be coming back, and our boy Will is like chosen one that's gonna save everybody. And it's just all of the things that I love about fantasy are in this book. And some people might call it basic, some people might call it cliche, but I had so much fun reading this. I know I've said that about every single book, but when I say it, it's actually true. Like, I'm not just saying it because I feel like I have to. Will, I love Will, and another character in here, Violet, love her. And I'm so ready for the sequel. The sequel, I saw on CS Pacat's Instagram that the second one is going to be coming out in December of this year. So very excited about that. So if you haven't read this and you're a fan of C.S. Pacat's work, I highly recommend this because it's super, super fun. So that is everything for April. We apart from one, but we read 6, we DNF'd 1, we read a graphic novel, and we discovered actually some new favorites. I wasn't expecting to like this Woven Kingdom as much as I did, and same with Dark Rise. We completed a trilogy, which, hats off to me for that. So cheers. Anyway, I'll love yous and leave yous. I'll love yous and leave yous. All of my socials are down below as always, along with the videos that I mentioned are gonna be down below as well. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, because I would love to get to 300 subscribers. That would be amazing. And ring the bell so you know whenever I upload next. I make videos every Tuesday and every other Saturday. So I will see you at the weekend for my next video. And yeah, I'll see you. Bye.